Hey everyone, hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Tonight's readings for reading through the Bible in a year are Numbers chapters 1 through 2, Psalm 64, and Hebrews chapter 11. We're going to be in Hebrews chapter 11 for this video, and this chapter certainly has like a sermon type quality to it. I can imagine the writer of this book getting in front of a crowd and just getting a bunch of amens every time he hits a point, because this chapter is full of those amen type of points, and it starts with a very powerful verse and a very powerful chapter with verse 1. Now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. After that, this chapter goes on to list just about every major character from the Old Testament. We've got Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses' parents, and then it also lists some of the other characters and the prices they had to pay for their faith, and some paying the ultimate price to live by faith. Now, I did a rough count. It could be off a little bit, but the phrase by faith was used 21 times in this chapter. So just imagine that scenario that I had at the very beginning where the preacher is at the pulpit and he's just firing these off. By faith Abel, by faith Enoch, by faith Noah, by faith Abraham, by faith, by faith, by faith. Just come on, man. Let's run through a brick wall together with this. This is just, the chapter is so powerful, speaking of the examples of the faith people have used over the course of history and the way God has used these people to advance his kingdom. Also, a little bit of a side note, but if you've ever doubted, say, the truthfulness of the stories that you've read in the Old Testament, it's pretty hard to ignore their staying power based on what this chapter is telling us here in Hebrews. These stories are separated by thousands of years in a time where note keeping wasn't exactly typing it on a computer and sending it to the cloud. And we have all these stories being told right here in the early church, and they're being used in ways that we are still using them today. So if this is the first time you come across one of my videos, I encourage you to actually go and read all of Hebrews chapter 11, because being a follower of Christ is the ultimate test of faith. But when we do things by faith, God can do some pretty great things. That's all for tonight's readings. Tomorrow's are Numbers chapters 3 through 5 and Hebrews chapter 12. See you later.